Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is a briefing about Jumadal Ula 1439 moon sighting from www.central-mosque.com. For the past 15 years, we've been bringing you up-to-date information about moon sighting, before the moon sighting, during the moon sighting, and after the moon sighting. The first thing you need to understand is there's a phenomenon which is called the new moon birth. What is new moon birth? What happens is the moon gets in between the sun and the earth. In Arabic, this is called mahaq, which is the dark black moon. This moon is not visible on earth at all because there's no light. It cannot reach the earth because, as you can see, the shadow falls on the earth. Islam has absolutely nothing to do with new moon conjunction at all. Islam has to do with Hilal, the crescent. So basically what happens with time, this new moon is born, it rises up and up and up in the sky until the sunlight hits it, gets reflected back on earth. So when this sunlight hits the crescent, gets reflected on earth, this is the first time you see the Hilal. So Islam has to do with crescent. The other religions of the world, be it Judaism, Hinduism, and other ones, have to do with the new moon conjunction. So in Islam, this is a phenomenon which you sight. So when you sight the new moon, the new Islamic moon, the new Islamic month rather, starts. Let me show you this in a video. So I want to show you this video from space. So this is the Earth. So the Earth, as you know, rotates around the sun. So what actually happens is you will see that the parts of the Earth are dark, so there's no sunlight, and you'll see the parts of the Earth get lit as the sun comes back up. So moon has no light of its own. So the sunlight has to fall on the moon and then gets reflected back on Earth. So if the moon is set, that means there is no sunlight that can reach you. If there's no light, you cannot see the moon. So let's see what happens. So as the Earth is rotating, as you can see, parts of the Earth get lit. As it comes around, you see more and more and more of the Earth getting lit, and that's where you see the moon. If there's no sunlight, you will not be able to see it. It's a simple thing as that. So we can calculate when the new moon is being born. We can calculate these timings when the sunlight is hitting it, and you can see it for the first time. What I wanted to show you is because the Earth is round, you will not be able to see the moon at the same time all over the Earth. It's not possible for you to have the same Islamic date throughout the entire globe, throughout the entire Earth, because as you can see, the Earth is round, it's rotating, so the sun and the day are different. As you can keep seeing here, right here, they're different. You know, we have day and we have night. And that is the reason why the same moon cannot be seen at the same time on Earth. The moon will be seen on certain parts of the Earth at a given time, and it will be seen the next day on certain parts of the Earth. So there's no such thing as the same Islamic date throughout the Earth on the same day. Cannot happen. So Islam has nothing to do with the birth of the new moon. Islam has to do with the sighting of the new crescent. So as the Earth rotates, and I showed you that the sunlight hits the Earth, you'll be able to see the Hilal. Unfortunately, the Qura calendar in Saudi Arabia has to do with new moon conjunction, and they blatantly tell you in Arabic and in English on their website, and yakun al-iqtaran, new moon conjunction. So what the Qura calendar says, if the new moon is born and it sets after the sun, they consider the next day to be the new Islamic month. It has absolutely nothing to do with the sighting of the moon. Some brothers and sisters, they say the Qura calendar is for admin use. Some say it's for religious use. Doesn't matter whichever use it's for. Islam is based on sighting of the moon, Hilal, and not the birth of the moon. So what happens then? The Jumadal Ula moon will be born on 17th of January, which is 29th of Rabiul Thani. If you look at the Qura calendar, it is already showing you on that day to be 30th. How can that be? That's the day that the moon is being born. So how can you be 30 days on the moon is being born? It makes zero sense. You keep looking right here. This is a printed Qura calendar. On the 17th, when the moon is born, right here, there is 30th of Rabiul Thani. It is impossible. Therefore, the next day they have to start the first Islamic month. It is absurd. Why? Because they very clearly tell you that they base it on new moon conjunction. Now, there is no moon sighting announcement from Saudi Arabia whatsoever. So if your mosque is following a calendar and the committee or the imam or the scholars tell you that we follow Saudi Arabia, it is not possible. Saudi Arabia is not going to even make an announcement for Jumadal Ula. How can you follow it? Not only that, the basis of the Qura calendar is based on new moon conjunction, which is not Islam. Islam is based on sighting the hilal. Let me take it back and say it again. Sighting means the sunlight hits the hilal, gets reflected back on earth. There is no such thing in Saudi Arabia at all. So now the new moon is being born on at 2:18 on the 17th of January. So as you can see, 17th of January, the new moon is being born. So this is London time right here. So in London at 2:18 in the night, this moon is being born. This moon cannot be seen anywhere on globe on the 17th of January. There is a chance it may be seen by an optical aid in some part of Americas, which Americas by mean Central America and North America even. So if you can see that with optical aid, there's a possibility, there's a remote possibility you could see that. But all the other parts of the world, as you can clearly see, this moon cannot be seen. Generally, it will not be seen unless you have a very powerful optical aid. You see it and then you switch it off and you try to see it with a naked eye or whatever. But largely it will not be seen on the 17th of January. On the 18th of January, this moon can be easily seen in all parts of the world, which is the next day, second day of the new moon birth. So as I've talked about, the principle is when you see the moon on a certain part, as you travel westward, sunset is later, and you've seen the video. So sunset is later, that means this moon will appear brighter in the sky. If you see the moon, for example, here for the first time, these places the sun is already set, so there's nothing for you to see at all. So Jumadal Ula, missing an A, should be Jumadal Ula, should be 19th of January, because you will not be able to see the moon on the 17th. In most parts of the world, there's a possibility in America, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best, but from other parts of the world, they will complete 30 days and it will be on the 19th. This Wifaqul Ulama chart that they produce every month, basically, as you can see, it is impossible for this moon to be seen in most parts of the world. Cannot be seen in Europe, cannot be seen in Africa, cannot be seen in Asia. Of course, why? Because if you look at the map of the world, Asia is even further away. So this moon at 2:18 in Europe, it's being born, cannot be seen on that day. So cannot be seen in Africa, cannot be seen in Asia. The next day is pretty clear. So we'll have Jumadal Ula on the 19th of January, inshallah, after completing 30 days. In opposition, the Saudi Qura calendar is already showing you that they're going to see the moon on the 1st. Why? Because it is based on new moon conjunction, the birth of the new moon, and not on the sighting of the moon. And they're already showing you in the Saudi Qura calendar, what they're showing you is they already have 30th on the day the moon is born. It's outstanding what is happening here. And those mosques that follow Saudi Arabia, there is no announcement at all from any Saudi organization or the government of moon sighting whatsoever. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.